I thought it might be fun and helpful maybe to get an idea of what I eat in a week while I'm training for my ultra marathon. So there are 3 days that I managed to get information on my food intake. One of them was an active rest day, one of them was a medium run day, and then the last one was a long run day, medium run day being 10 miles and the long run day being 20. Especially for me, I really hate cooking and I'm lazy. I like to put my effort into things other than cooking. That's why I say it. I'm not lazy. I like to put my effort into things other than cooking. So you'll see in the video that there's not very much that I'm actually like making. It's mostly heating up stuff, or there's a lot of things that you don't really have to make. They're either pre-made or just raw. I don't think you have to spend a lot of time in the kitchen in order to eat healthfully. That is my motto anyway, and you'll see that going forward. One thing I realized after I did all the recording is that I didn't record some things that I do, I don't want to say eat, I guess drink, one of which is being espresso. We have an espresso maker and I do have probably too much espresso most days. It's a bit of an addiction. I'm not even going to say how much I have because I don't want anyone doing what I do, because I think I do get too much. And then I also usually will have some sort of electrolyte drink. I did mention that in my cross training video. I'll do things like Zip Fizz, Noon, things that are like that. Still fairly like low in sugar, because sugar is really hard on my stomach. It tends to give me indigestion and just digestion problems in general. But having that like sweet taste and the extra B vitamins and stuff helps me make it through my workouts. So if you're watching this, I hope you find this helpful, and please leave any comments or questions down below. Okay, so one of my staple meals is oats. I think that that's actually probably pretty common. I think there are a lot of athletes in all sorts of different sports. Not that I'm an athlete, just saying the people who are active, oats seems to be a staple. I like Bob's. I just like his brand. I like his gluten-free flour. One of my friends is gluten intolerant, and the flour seems to be really good, and just everything. So I not only have his oats, but also his flaxseed meal for some omega-3s. A quick note on flax seeds: they are so fibrous and so tough that if you don't grind it up before you eat it, you actually will not digest any of it. So you will get none of the benefits of the actual flax seeds. So make sure if you're eating flax seeds, you do grind it up or by pre-ground, which is what I do. And it also keeps best if you keep it in the fridge. For my protein powder, I've actually recently started using a brand called Kachava. This is the chocolate one, but today we're doing chocolate banana. So those are gonna be my 4 ingredients for quote unquote overnight oats. It's not really gonna be overnight. I'm going to go ahead and just put it in the fridge and eat it in a few hours. Already, I apologize for the framing on this. There is, looks like not a lot I can do. I don't have the right equipment to really get this in the frame correctly. So you can see I'm using a food scale. I like to use a food scale just so I make sure that I actually don't undereat, because sometimes I'm just not very clear on what a portion size is. So you can see that's about 50 grams of oats. It's approximately 1 tablespoon of flaxseed. There we go. Serving size of the Kachava chocolate is 62 grams. So we're gonna try to get pretty close to that. That is 39. 54. 64. Oh, wow.
Editing Rachel here. As I was listening to this portion, I realized you couldn't really hear me. I was mumbling. I was pretty tired. Basically, this is about 130 some odd grams of banana, which is a pretty big banana, but I have a big training week this week, so I'm not going to worry about it. I just put the whole thing in, and that's basically what I'm saying in the video.
I'll add to that about probably 6 ounces of water. Stir it up, stick it in the fridge, and eat it in a few hours. I'm just gonna apologize now for the bad lighting. It's dark and gray, so I'm getting the lights from my kitchen, and it is what it is. So that's where we are. Lots of fruit. This isn't a meal, and I won't eat all of this in one sitting, because even for me, that's a lot of fruit. But this is a combo. We got kiwis, strawberries, blueberries, a couple different kinds of melon, some pineapple. And I like to eat fruit because it's a great source of phytonutrients. It's a great source of energy, and it tastes good. Like, I'm just like everyone else. I don't necessarily love vegetables. I try to get them in because I know that they're a healthy part of my diet, and if I mix them in with other things, it tends to be easier. But the fact is that fruit is both tasty and healthy, and it just makes it easier. So especially if I know I'm not getting a lot of vegetables, which honestly may happen today because I think I need to go grocery shopping, but I'll eat a whole bunch of fruit. So let me see if I can actually get a better look at this for you guys. I never arrange anything this pretty. This is how the store arranged it. Shout out to Town and Country Market. But you can see just lots of different kinds of fruit, and I will probably eat this all today, but again, just not all in one sitting. This is not a meal. This is, again, more like a snack. So, well, a few snacks. Anyway, there we go, bunch of fruit. Work got really crazy, so I didn't get a chance to film my lunch, but it was, because I had to be quick, I just finished off the fruit and then had some avocado toast with Essential Baking Company. This is the first time I bought this bread. This is, I guess, Pain de Georges, and it's named after their founder, I think is what it says. Yes, it's really good. I like it. And it's made with whole wheat, so it has a little bit more fiber. So it's just a super quick lunch, and then as a little treat, because we are closing on Shark Week. I can't remember if I had one or two of these. I just know that it's empty now. This little chocolates, these little caramels. And now we're getting ready for dinner, which is gonna be a big ass potato. Not an ass potato, but you know, a big potato. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of this Plant Strong white bean chili on. So I'm gonna have a good source of starches and carbohydrates, and also a good source of protein. I'll put a little bit of dairy-free cream cheese as like a substitute for sour cream, just like a little bit, and then some sriracha as well. And I will do my best to get a picture when it's all done. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can show this without making a mess. I'm trying to not move the camera because it's got pretty good, like it's pretty stable where it is right now. But there's the potato with half of the chili and the hot sauce. I'm gonna put a couple tablespoons of the plant-based cream cheese on it, like right before I eat it. Otherwise it gets melty and gross. And while I was trying to film this, it would have just turned into kind of a soup, which is not so delicious. The other half of it is right here, this container. I'll put it in the fridge, use that for another meal. And then I forgot I had these. I bought some Inari yesterday, and I have 2 left from a 4-pack. And ours just fried tofu pockets filled with sushi rice. They're a little sweet, a little salty, not too overwhelming on either. Just delicious. This will probably be my dessert. And if I eat anything else, I'll try to catch some footage of it. If not, I'll grab a few more meals for the rest of the week. I think having a record of what I'm eating on my longer run days, my 10 and 20 miles, which is tomorrow and Thursday, would be helpful. So I will go ahead and try to get those. I'm gonna make it super quick because I'm super hungry this morning. Today is the day of my 10-mile run. It's about an hour and a half before I leave, and I have some blueberries, basically what was left over in the container, a banana, and an English muffin. Whoops, almost lost them. That I put a little bit of my Earth Balance on. Very carb heavy breakfast because again, when I'm running, I'm using mostly glycogen, so I want to make sure my glycogen stores are fully replenished, and then afterwards I'll probably have something with a little bit more protein. I also find that carbs and starches and everything like that is a lot easier on my stomach when I'm running, so I don't tend to get things like stomach cramps. So that's all for breakfast this morning. And here I am making another protein shake with the Kachava chai flavor, trying to get exactly 61 grams because I'm unfortunately just anal like that. And then I washed this entire container of blackberries and put about half in, basically just as many as I could possibly fit in. Blackberries are just super good for you and they're tasty. And actually I think they mix really well with the chai flavor. And then as usual, here is my tablespoon of flaxseed meal. And that will do it for the actual smoothie itself. And to finish off this, I had that container of watermelon, which is really good for sore muscles. Prepping for dinner. I think just about done with it. So another crazy busy day. So I'm just making an Impossible kind of chicken sandwich using the Pain de Georges bread again, a little bit of horseradish mustard, and then you see, here it is here. with a little bit of romaine lettuce just to add some crunch, and then having that with salad. It's just got arugula, romaine, tomatoes, avocado, and then I'm going to throw some salt and pepper and some lemon juice on it and kind of use that as the dressing. Earlier I did have a snack because I was hungry and I had a meeting. So another piece of the bread. Can you tell I like bread? I love bread. And then the last of my Good Planet little plant-based cheese wedges. It was, again, just something that tied me over until I was able to make dinner. So that's it. Final update for today. I was pretty sure I was low on protein and still a little bit hungry, but not super hungry. So after dinner, about a half hour later, I had one of these no-cow protein bars. This one is peanut butter chocolate chip flavored. I have a few of these. I have a couple different protein bars on hand depending on how I'm feeling or what I feel like I need at the time. And then again, Shark Week. I had some Pocky and a little bit of dark chocolate. And I think that'll about do it. I am exhausted. I finally got the kid to bed, and since I have 20 miles tomorrow, I'm gonna hit the hay here shortly as well. So more tomorrow for my 20-mile. Well, it seems like I am perpetually pushed for time, at least this week. So we're starting out breakfast on the 20-mile long run day with a bowl of Ezekiel 4-9 Golden Flax cereal. It's actually a really big bowl. So a serving size is 57 grams. You can see this is 81, so it's about a serving and a half. I just didn't feel like there was any point in leaving half a serving of cereal in the box. And again, since I'm going to be running for a really long time today, over 3 hours, I'm not concerned about some extra carbohydrates to help fuel that. Then the other thing I'm going to make to eat right before I go, because I won't be able to get out until about 11:30, is a sandwich. This is Dave's Killer Bread, the Power Seed thin sliced with banana and peanut butter. This is unsalted and unsweetened. The only ingredients on this are roasted peanuts. That's the type of peanut butter I like to stick with, and then the banana will add some sweetness. So I'll put some blackberries on top of my cereal and a little bit of almond milk from Costco, and that should do it for pre-run. During the run, some of the pouches that I ordered, the Noka pouches, did not show up, so I'm just going to be bringing the Kirkland kind of like applesauce pouches, taking one of those about every half hour, and hopefully that'll get us through. There's a quick shot of the finished peanut butter and banana sandwich. As you can see, I put a little bit of peanut butter on both slices of bread so that the banana would stick to it a little better. Banana is not cut evenly, doesn't matter, doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be fueling. Okay, I am completely dead after that 20-mile run. Not having my more energy dense pouches, I think, to supplement along with the applesauce was not great, combined with it being Shark Week, and yeah, we're not feeling so great. So there is I'm making my protein shake. I showered because I could smell myself, and I did my stretches because you really want to try to get to those before the lactic acid has a chance to really set in. Fortunately, I do have a massage scheduled for tomorrow. And I apologize, I am very out of it now because I am so exhausted. And it's gonna be time to pick up my daughter soon, so I gotta do this quick. Okay. Making my protein shake. Here's the Kachava Chai. I am adding in just like a crap ton of strawberries. What do we got here? Not that one. Oops. 286 grams, so that's actually about 2 servings of strawberries. And the flax seeds. I will be eating a lot more than this later, but there is a temptation, I think, to say, oh, I just ran 20 miles, I should eat whatever I want. And the issue with that is that because your body is in a depleted state, whatever you put into it is going to suck up. So you really want to start with something kind of nutritious if you can. I'm starting to feel lightheaded, so I'm going to finish this up. The other thing I'm going to have is this big thing of watermelon, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Sorry, I know I'm backlit, but I needed to sit down and suck down my protein shake real quick because I was starting to feel lightheaded, kind of like I did the other day when I almost passed out. And Rob is not, my husband is not here to like make sure I can get back up. And I needed to go pick up my kid at the bus stop. But what I was going to say about watermelon, which as you can see I'm almost done, is that there have been like a couple small studies that indicate that maybe having watermelon after a really intense workout session reduces soreness. And I honestly can't remember why it was that it did that. It may just be the high water content. It might be a specific phytonutrient in the watermelon, but worst case scenario, it doesn't help, but I still get to eat watermelon. It feels like a win-win to me. Just gonna finish with the watermelon, and then I'm honestly, like, my stomach is feeling full, not because I've had a lot of calories, but because just like volume wise, I can't fit anything more in there really right now. But I'll be definitely having a lot more to eat later today. I may or may not be able to record it. I need to go pick up my husband at the airport in a bit. So if I can't record it, I will try to do another video just listing out what I ate. So hopefully we'll see you soon. Okay, I think I've come to the conclusion that I'm just not going to get a good angle in my kitchen. It's too small. Apologies for the constantly changing angles and the fact that nothing looks right. So I was too tired to film anything else yesterday in terms of what I ate, but I remembered as I was looking through my fridge. By the way, don't do what I did. Gross. Part of this banana is disgusting. So we're gonna, I know it's just going into a protein shake, but yeah. No. Anyway, don't do what I did, which is plan really well for what you're gonna eat before your run, and neglect thinking about what you're gonna eat after, because I guarantee you, if you run for a lot longer than you normally do, you're gonna be super tired and not necessarily able to make decisions. Like, I was almost in a brain fog. I was so tired. I chalked that up to a couple of things. Number one, it was a very long run. Number two, it was during Shark Week. And number three, like not having, I think, enough fuel during the run. I think I read somewhere that you want to aim for on those really long runs, like an average of 200 calories fuel consumption per hour. And I was getting maybe 120. If I had had my Noka pouches like I normally do, it would have been a lot closer to that. It would have been like 180, which I'm like, that's, you know, that's pretty close to 200. I'm going to try to never do that again on a long run. Always have enough fuel going forward. But anyway, I did remember that I had the other serving of the chili from earlier in the week when I made the potato, and I did that with a whole bunch of bread. You'll notice that my loaf of pain du jour is just much smaller than it was earlier in the week. So I had quite a few slices of that yesterday too, probably because it feels good on my tummy. Sometimes my stomach is a little bit sensitive before a run, after a run, you know, all the time really. But bread is always something that seems to go down pretty easily. So I probably had 3 or 4, and they're big slices of that bread yesterday with a little bit of Earth Balance. And then we went to pick up my husband from the airport. His flight got in a little bit late. And of course my 7-year-old then, while we were still waiting, and the cell phone lot told me that she had to go to the bathroom. So there's not a place to do that without going inside the airport. So as soon as my husband got in the car, we drove to like the nearest gas station so that she could go in and use the restroom. But of course, if you're going to use an establishment's bathroom, I feel obligated to purchase something. And I think you're supposed to anyway, you know, restrooms are for customers only sort of thing. So I ended up getting potato chips, just regular basic Lay's potato chips. That, you know, they're the ones that have like 420 calories for reference. And honestly, that just sounded really good. It was really salty, and I think I probably needed that because I didn't eat anything that was super salty after my run, even really before my run. So getting my sodium levels maybe back up a little bit. And then I had a Reese's peanut butter cup and some more chocolate, some more of this guy. As you can see, it's like the bar's almost half gone now. And I think that's about it. I am hungry again this morning. Normally it's about 9 o'clock now. I wouldn't normally be eating yet, but I burned a lot of calories yesterday, you know, 1,700 active calories just on the run itself. I think my total active calories yesterday was about 2,000, making my total calorie burn almost 3,500. And I'm sure I didn't eat that many calories. It's not a big deal to me if I have a bit of a deficit, but I'm hungry today, and so I'm going to eat. I'm gonna honor my hunger cues. And it is also Shark Week, and for me, I just tend to be hungrier on Shark Week. So I don't know if I'm gonna get any more for the rest of this week. Today's a quote unquote rest day. It's an active rest day. And so I did kind of shortish kettlebell workout, and partly just to work out some lactic acid, all light weights, all kind of easier intensity. This is all learning process. I've never done this before. I've trained for a marathon, but my longest training run on a marathon was 20 miles and I only had one of those. So this is all new for me and we're just gonna learn as we go. So that's it. Again, it was a really crazy week. My husband was gone all week in business on California. And so I had to make sure to kind of really quickly grab videos when I could. I had a really busy work week as well, which sometimes happens, you know, and I'm very, very lucky. I work from home. So if I do need to grab a quick meal, it's very easy to do. I can still do like a little bit of food prep while I'm here. My recommendation is if you can't do any food prep at work, because maybe you work in an office setting, make a bunch of batches of like things like overnight oats. You don't have to just have oats for breakfast. You can eat any food you like at any time of the day. There is no specific breakfast, lunch, or dinner food. Though I would say if you have digestion issues, notice what makes you feel good or bad at different points in the day. Sometimes our circadian rhythms can impact our digestion and how we feel after eating certain foods. But something like oats is usually pretty easy on most people's stomach. Again, it's gluten-free, so if you have a gluten intolerance, you're good with oats. And they will stay good in the fridge for like 4 to 5 days. So you can make a big batch or make a bunch of different little batches with different flavorings, different spices. You'll see I frequently use chocolate banana as a favorite of mine for overnight oats, but if you like something a little bit spicier, you can also add things like cloves or allspice. Go easy on the cloves, a little goes a long way, but just play around with different spices and see what you like. You know, apple cinnamon's very popular in the fall sort of thing, but it doesn't really matter what other people think of it as long as you like it. This is for you. You don't need to impress anybody else with your food choices. So that I think is about it. We had a great week. Overall, it was very busy, but I think it was successful. And again, this is not what I eat every day. This is a very brief snapshot of what I ate over the course of 3 days. I may do one of these further down the road, just to kind of get an idea of, you know, how much have my eating patterns changed over the course of training for my ultra, or just because it's a different season and maybe I'm craving different types of foods. But I hope wherever we are out there in the great wide world, you're having a great day, and we'll see you again soon.